Are data science bootcamps worth it, or are they simply a scam? Today, I'll talk you through the pros and cons of data science bootcamps so you understand a little bit about what they are and whether they're the right thing for you. I'm Samanvay, a data scientist living in Sydney, Australia. First things first, what are data science bootcamps? A data science bootcamp is an intensive course in data science that can last anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. It all depends on the reputation of the place that has the course and where in the world you do it. At the end of the intensive bootcamp, you typically get a certificate in data science. These bootcamps are typically geared towards beginners who are completely new to data science. Now, in saying that, people that are used to coding before doing data science or have some sort of math background might have a slightly easier time picking up the subjects. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of data science bootcamps. Let's talk about the pros to begin with. Firstly, data science bootcamps are intensive and immersive. Due to the condensed time frame, the content has to be more practical than theoretical. And the end goal of these bootcamps is to help get you a job, which means that they're laser focused in providing you as much value as you can get within a short amount of time. Number two is that most bootcamps will provide you with personalized networking and career advice. As I mentioned, bootcamps are geared towards getting your job as quickly as possible. So most bootcamps will go the extra mile to set up networking and industry events to help you meet professionals out in the field. So not only are you going to be doing practical data science related work, you'll also be meeting people that are in the field doing what you hope to be doing after the bootcamp. Now, this is a great way of networking and getting your foot in the door and getting that first job opportunities. Along with that, a lot of these bootcamps will also help you improve your resume so that you're putting the best foot forward when you're applying for jobs. Now let's talk about the cons. Firstly, bootcamps tend to be very expensive. For example, the General Assembly Data Science Immersive course costs you about $17,500 for a 3-month bootcamp. This is more than doing a master's for the same amount of time, which brings me to the second con. Even after doing the 3-month course, you'll be getting a certificate, and whether or not that certificate is recognized by any employer is really up to them. Now, if you're someone that's switching fields into data science and looking to get your foot in the door in the industry, I'd recommend doing a master's rather than a bootcamp, especially if you like a more structured and slower way of learning. But if you think you can handle the intensity of a bootcamp as well as having some STEM background to begin with, you might find it a bit easier finding a job off the back of a bootcamp. The third con of a bootcamp is that they can often be deceiving. A lot of bootcamps will like to market their course as generating graduates that are getting 6-figure job offers at Amazon or Google. So before you go ahead, I just want to make it clear that that is not a realistic expectation out of any bootcamp. Places like Google and Amazon are extremely competitive to get a job in, and you'll be competing with the top graduates out of the top degree programs across the whole world. So you can imagine it's a very stiff competition when you're comparing your qualification with a bootcamp versus theirs. But in saying that, it's totally possible to get 6-figure job offers after you've gained a bit of experience, but it's rather unrealistic to expect that right out the door. So just want to set your expectations straight before you decide to do any bootcamp under the pretense of getting a 6-figure job offers. Now that you know the pros and cons of a data science bootcamp, let's talk a little bit about what are the most popular data science bootcamps out there. There's obviously the General Assembly Data Science Immersive Bootcamp. There's the BrainStation Online Data Science Bootcamp, which is accessible to you from anywhere around the world. There's the Flatiron School Data Science Bootcamp. And finally, there's the Think Full Data Science Bootcamp. Final question really is, are data science bootcamps actually worth it? And as all answers to questions like this, it really depends on your personal circumstances. For some people, it's a great idea, for others, not so much. If you're someone that enjoys the intensive way of learning, focusing on practical things, and have previous coding or STEM knowledge, you might have a good time doing data science boot camps. But if you're someone that is completely new to an industry, having been in a very much a non-STEM degree, you might consider doing a master's program instead of a boot camp, because a 3-month boot camp might not be enough to give you the foundations you need to seek a job in the data science industry. But as a first step, if you find yourself interested in data science, I would recommend you to use all the freely available resources out there. A couple of months ago, I created a video about a 3-month data science roadmap. So I'd seriously consider you checking that out before you take the leap into paying for something like a data science bootcamp or a master's degree, because it makes no sense to do those if you're not interested in the subject in the first place. That's it for this video. Hope you learned a little bit more about data science bootcamps and whether or not it's the right option for you. So if you enjoyed the video, then smash that like button and I'll see you next time.